Here we go. 6 feet away, that's what they say. Don't get too close to me. A walk in the park till just before dark is okay as long as you keep your distance. 6 feet away, day after day. Don't get too close to me. A jog in the rain, we'll meet up again as long as you promise to keep your distance. One little sneeze and it's over. Your little life could be toast. I'm waltzing right over your shoulder. It's cause for alarm. So just keep your charming self 6 feet. So just keep your charming self. Now this new life has begun. This one's for you. Close your eyes now, feel the sun leading you to the light. Now this new life has begun. This one's for you. This one's for you. Play me one before you go, like you did so long ago. Huh? Okay, so first we are doing what? Noodle? Come into the quiet, coming from the storm to a place where time stands still, the Spirit is reborn. Come into the quiet, take your place among the stars. Come into this place, come as you are. You don't need directions to find this place and time. Just turn on down the road that's laid before you. Circle back around your heart, you'll find peace of mind. Trust that place inside that's calling you home. Come into the quiet, wrap your heart around all the love that's here for you, waiting to be found. Come into the quiet, take your place among the stars. Come into this place, come into this place, come into this place, come as you are. Come into this place.
Lovely. This is, for those of you that don't know her, Beth Allman. It's so nice to have you here this morning. I believe you were the first music director here at Unity Church of the Hills, and so we are in for a treat. So welcome, everyone. I'm Reverend Cynthia, and it is my joy and privilege to welcome you here to Unity Church of the Hills. I want you to know that your presence here matters. It makes a difference, and I choose to see the Christ in each one of you. We are, if you want to say it with me, I believe it's back there, we are an open-minded and open-hearted spiritual community that welcomes and embraces each individual as an expression of the divine. And so I really want you to know that that is how we choose to see you each Sunday here at Unity Church of the Hills. I also want to take a moment and acknowledge anybody that is here for the first time. If you're here for the first time and you don't mind raising your hands, it would be lovely to see you. Thank you so much for being here this morning. I hope you enjoy your time with us and that you will choose to make this your church home. If you're here, if you're returning for the second or third time, we want to welcome you back and thank you for being here again. Anybody? And we have people like Beth that are returning after a stay away, and we welcome you back as well. For those of you that have not, I invite you to fill out the connection card that you received in your welcome packet. There are also some on the seats. And if you put those in the offering basket at the end of service, it allows us to stay connected with you. So I hope you will choose to do that. And now we get to greet one another, to behold the Christ in one another as we look into one another's eyes. So I invite you to do that now. Oh, thank you, Ellen. Someone needs to tell me what to do. Before we do that, we want to affirm together this blessing. Together, we love you, we bless you, we welcome you, and we behold the Christ you are. And now we get to do it face to face. So we had a special excursion this last Tuesday. About 16 members of Unity Church of the Hills joined with me in going to see the Community First Village, which is part of Mobile Loaves and Fishes. And it was a wonderful experience in which we got to learn about what they're doing. We walked the village, and we sat down and broke bread together and learned a bit more about what's happening there. For those of you that don't know, Community First is a village that houses formerly homeless people. And they wrap them in a neighborhood of belonging. And it is such a beautiful experience. And I'd like those of you that joined me to come up and just join me. I have some words that were shared by them. I don't have everybody's words. There were a lot of us. But I want to share a few things about what we experienced and what we heard. The key words that showed up for people when they talked about this, the photos were taken by Jack Frick, by the way, were love, dignity, hope, community, compassion, respect. Patty said, how a city deals with its homeless population is a reflection of who we are as a community. Treating them with dignity, respect, and resources is what a conscious community does. She wants it to become a trend all across the world. Anaya, who's not here this morning, shared a moment. She talked about sharing a moment in time, dissolving all illusions of separation. We shared sidewalks, wove our spirits between the same houses, and into the loom of a quiet community. I left feeling inspired by a vision where one day we can all share space in the same way. Joni talked about how this is what happens when we put feet to our prayers. and talked about how incredible it was to gather with other people of faith in service and care to others. And what most touched me was this story from Belinda Longoria. A few weeks ago, I was walking down the street in Los Angeles when I saw a dirty blanket thrown into the street. I immediately thought, what a shame that people just throw trash out like that. As I walked by the blanket, I realized there was a person laying under the blanket, curled up in a fetal position. I've never had such a visceral realization of how we truly treat our homeless brothers and sisters like trash. When I walked the streets of Community First Village, I saw smiling, welcoming faces, not just on staff or on missionals, but on the residents, our neighbors, as they call them. Their pride was evident in the ways they decorated and cared for their homes. People walked down the street with their pets, not fearful of violence or censure. The wonderful sense of dinner cooking at a modern, clean, shared kitchen space were in the air. We saw the thriving gardens and greenhouses where they grew beautiful flowers and healthy vegetables. The big things I learned, however, were about the power of community and relationships. It isn't just about giving a person a place to stay, a job, or some meals. It's about building a community of people supporting and appreciating one another. One of the staff or volunteers really put it into perspective. They said that it's about being willing to see and be with people on the ground and in the dirt. The people at Mobile Loaves and Fishes look past the apparent muck to see the truth and beauty of the lotus flower underneath. Because we see the Christ in their neighbors, Community First is truly a place where lives are transformed. It's a great reminder to me about walking my talk and living my truth. So I want to acknowledge this incredible group of people. We will be hearing more about Loaves and Fishes. Anaya and I are working up a plan for a retreat sometime next year. So it's a wonderful opportunity for us to take our hearts out into the community. So thank you all.
As we pause to hold this sacred space, we open our hearts to receive and to affirm our truest, highest sense of being, gently releasing our impulse to think and do, and just be still in this holy now moment. knowing we abide in the presence of the divine creator of all that is, and in our oneness with all, we bathe the world in peace, light, and awareness, especially those whose lives are ravaged by war. May we experience the presence and peace of the divine in the midst of the storm, and see the peaceful resolutions that already exist in the mind of God. Drawing upon our inner guidance, we center ourselves in faith and await with gratitude the blessings to come. With grateful hearts, we acknowledge our many blessings and resume our journey with renewed confidence, generosity, and freedom. Amen.
Do you have questions about the transition process, what it entails, and how you can be an active part of the co-creation of the future of Unity Church of the Hills? Reverend Cynthia will be facilitating a Zoom Q&A about UCOH's transition process on Thursday, October 26th at 6 p.m. Please register to acquire the Zoom link. On Sunday, November 5th, Reverend Steve and Mary Bolin will join Reverend Cynthia for a special 11:30 service and a message entitled Unity Church of the Hills, a love story. Bring friends and food and join us for the fun, then stay for a UCOH family potluck lunch at 1 p.m. Today at 1:30 in room 131, Anaya offers a Ripples of Healing to expand the healing opportunities awakened during the Heritage and Healing experience and to empower our journey forward. Dialogue Institute, the organization that brings us the Iftar dinner, is holding an annual dialogue dinner Sunday, October 29th. Their mission is to promote mutual understanding, respect, and cooperation among people of diverse faiths and cultures by creating opportunities for direct communication and meaningful shared experiences. Check their website for details. Now, please join me in affirming our mission statement. We put God first, celebrate life, serve truth, and empower people to transform their lives.
When I look within to my passion prayer, in this solitude, God is there, waiting for me with a warm embrace in this magic place. My passion prayer, my heart has found a home in my passion prayer. Come and take my hand and we'll go there. We can share this gift from beyond the blue, where dreams come true. Our passion prayer. share this gift from beyond the blue, where dreams come true. Our passion
Thank you, Beth. That was beautiful. We're talking about prayer this morning. I think I'm done. So, we continue this week on our journey through Unity's 5 basic principles, our basic teachings. So first I want to do a very quick review. The beginning of the month, we talked about our first principle, that there is only one presence and one power, that it is God, it is good, it is everywhere present. It is the creative energy of the universe that resides in each one of us. That's the second principle. God is. I am an expression of God. I am an expression of the divine. I am here to take that energy of God and release it into the world. Third principle, I think or I create, and any time we create, we co-create. Because when we're truly in that energy of creation, we are connected with Spirit, and we are moving Spirit's intentions out into the world. We do that through our thinking, through our feeling, through our thoughts, and by being intentional about listening to the voice of God. And this week, we're talking about our fourth principle, I pray. You know, we had the first 3 principles are kind of about our philosophy. We kind of an exploration of the nature of God and the nature of humankind and our purpose in being in this world. But if we're here to give expression to God, we need to stay connected to that energy. And that's where the 4th principle comes in. Prayer. Prayer and meditation are the vehicle by which we stay consciously connected with God, by which we commune with the infinite. Now, we're never separate, but sometimes in our minds, well, we are, right? And so prayer and meditation are the practice that keeps us connected, that allows us to know who we are, where we come from, and what we're here to do. So Unity's concept of prayer is a little bit different than some of you might have grown up with. Oftentimes when we talk about prayer, we think of this idea of praying for something that we're lacking, of beseeching God for help in some way. And those prayers of supplication may be helpful at times, but from a unity perspective, we want to move beyond the idea that God is kind of this giant vending machine. That comes from a friend of mine, that drops these things into our lives when we pray hard enough. Actually, Charles Fillmore said, God doesn't give us things. God gives us ideas, and we bring them into expression. And so prayer is the vehicle. Prayer and meditation are the vehicles, the practices that link us there. And affirmative prayer that we teach in Unity is a bit different. It's about placing ourselves inside the consciousness of what we are. You see, God is not a being having parts. God is the essence of everything. And so if we're praying for a healing, we want to place ourselves inside the consciousness of the divine life that is flowing through us. If we're praying if we're worrying about something, we might want to place ourselves inside the consciousness of peace, connecting with that energy of peace that is the very essence of our being. If we're feeling some financial stress, we want to place ourselves inside the consciousness of abundance, recognizing that we are connected with everything that could ever exist. Now, this idea of placing ourselves in the consciousness of what we want can seem like a great idea, but not necessarily so easy in practice, right? So what, turn it on. That helps when you turn it on. So I alluded to this earlier. Emily Cady says that God is not a being or a person having life, intelligence, love, power. God is that invisible, intangible, but very real something we call life. God is the perfect love and infinite power. God is the total of these things, the total of all good, whether we see it, whether we experience it or not. And so what we're doing with affirmative prayer is putting ourselves in that state of awareness, that state of consciousness. And there's a book, a new book. It just came out a few weeks ago, called Discover Your Divine Identity. It's written by Reverend Linda Martella-Wissett and Reverend Deanne Morency, and it is a book about the power of affirmative prayer. And they use a 5-step prayer process that those of you that have been in Unity for a while might recognize, although the language is a little bit different. But this is the basic practice of putting ourselves in that state of consciousness. It starts with I open. In the former language, it was I relax. That relaxation can be a relaxation of the mind and the body. It can be a relaxation, an opening in our consciousness, our way of looking at things, being willing to release that thought that is somehow kind of tight and restricted. And so when we do this, we are beginning to open to new possibility, something new that can be generated through our consciousness. So this is just the first step, a willingness, an openness to have a different experience. And the second step is I recognize that God is. I recognize that God is here, and God is all of the energy of the universe. God is all the love I could ever want. All the prosperity, all the healing, all the wholeness. God is absolute good. And I want to place myself inside that awareness, recognizing that there is no limitation in that consciousness that God is. The third step is about integration. we first begin to understand what God is, and specifically that expression of God that we are seeking, whether it be peace or healing or wholeness or love or prosperity. We want to tap into that aspect of God. But then the third step is about integration. It's about recognizing that exists in me, as me. Integrating that into our awareness, so that we are seeking, which Emily Cady talks about, God knocking at the door of our consciousness, is right here inside me. I don't need to go anywhere to find it. It already is. And I just need to put myself in that awareness, to connect with it, to saturate my consciousness in the reality that this is what I already am. The fourth step is to realize. I realize I can, I have, I know. So when those worry thoughts kind of rise up, this step is about moving it into our world. If I am peace, then I can have peace, I can express peace, I can be peace. Really allowing ourselves to fully and completely open to the idea that what we want is already here in this now moment. It may not be manifest in the physical world, but it absolutely is true in the level of conscious awareness. And we're going to claim it. We're going to give expression to it. We're going to see it into being. And the fourth step is I appreciate. This appreciation is for the shift in consciousness, the shift from worry and fear to peace, the shift from lack to affluence, to abundance, to true prosperity. The shift in consciousness from ill health to wholeness. The shift in the tension in our relationships to a place of love, a place where we see that Christ in one another. It's not about changing them, it's about putting myself in the place of love and seeing who they truly are and knowing that I am connected with them fully. This prayer process honors our humanity in the ways we get stuck, but also honors our divinity. They say, we are 100% human, yes, and we are 100% divine. At the intersection of our humanity and divinity, we can claim the power of God and use it to transform our human experience. This is what we seek to realize in prayer through the conscious use of spiritual principle, the transformation of consciousness so that we may know and live from that identity. We are fully human, yes. Fully divine, yes. All of it is part of who we are. And this is a process by which we can really live into that, taking that divine essence that we are and moving it through our physical form to give it expression in our world, to create an intersection where the wholeness, the oneness in which we live and move and have our being can have physical expression in our world. So, it's also very helpful when we're really feeling stuck or when we're really hurting or in pain in some way, or where we just don't seem to be making any forward movement, to know that we don't have to hold this consciousness alone, to choose to take our prayers to another person and to ask them to hold this consciousness with us, to ask them to hold the high watch with and for us. This is what our prayer chaplains do. It's what we can do whether or not we've been ever been trained as a prayer chaplain. I had the privilege of meeting with the prayer chaplains this week, and I asked for some thoughts about what praying with others meant to them. And this is from Heidi Gudelman. When I am given the opportunity to pray with another, I am entering into a sacred place, a connection with God, our source. When I pray, I am joining my human experience with another person in their human experience. And we are both connecting to the source of everything. That is the place where we can then find comfort, peace, love, and answers in this process of praying. It is a beautiful feeling of love that is shared between the two of us. Yes. You know, we don't have to journey alone. We need one another to hold our hands, to be there in consciousness with us, to see for us that which we may not be able to see for ourselves. Because I know for myself, when things seem to be breaking down and falling apart, I can't necessarily find my way back to home, back to my wholeness, back to God consciousness on my own. I need someone there with me to see the possibility when I'm not able to see it. So I urge you to make use of the many opportunities to pray with one another. You know, we can do it so easily. I've been in grocery stores where someone's come up to me out of the blue, someone I don't know, and has shared something painful. Sometimes I just acknowledge and say, I'm sorry. But when I'm really tapped in, I take a moment. Would you like to pray with me? Let me help you see a different experience here. And then there's meditation, and I wrote up the blurb for this talk, and I said, and I'm going to talk about the difference between prayer and meditation. Why did I do that? Because honestly, I've never found a really clean-cut definition in unity. What I think of when I think of meditation, and I urge you to make meditation a part of your daily practice. But for me, meditation is different than prayer in this way. Meditation has no agenda. It's about bathing myself in the consciousness of God. Meditation for me is about letting go and listening deeply, about truly allowing the infinite to speak through me and to help me take that energy then out into the world. In their book, Teach Us to Pray, Cora and Charles Fillmore say, the purpose of the silence is to still the activity of the individual thought so that the still small voice of God can be heard. I think that's a pretty good definition of meditation. For those of you that don't know, Cora Fillmore was Charles Fillmore's, our founder's second wife. And this is a beautiful book, by the way. But meditation is about letting go and listening deeply. And this is something we want to do as individuals. It's something we do every Sunday as part of our experience in this sanctuary. And I think it's really important for us to intentionally live into that space and to listen to God together. And so starting tomorrow night, I'm going to hold a weekly Zoom call for about half an hour. You need to register so that you get the Zoom link. But it's really just an opportunity. I will set the stage, but most of it is about listening, so that we can, as a community, hear the voice of God collectively and discern what Spirit is calling us to do and to be as a spiritual community. So I hope you will join me. But what I really want to encourage you to do is take the practice of prayer and the practice of meditation and make it a vital part of your spiritual journey and your daily practice. So let's prepare for meditation.
Lead me to the light. Lead me to the light. Help me to make it through. Lead me into the light. To make mine eyes to see all that I could be. Help me to see this through. Lead me into the light. Turn my night to day. Take this hurt away. Help me to be with you. Lead me into the light.
So I invite you to close your eyes, if that's comfortable, or to lower your gaze. And as we move through this time of prayer and meditation, I invite you to allow my words to be your words. And so I affirm, here I am, Lord, open receptive, ready, willing, to step into a deeper awareness. And in this now moment, I do know that God is. God is all the intelligence, all the love, all the wisdom, all the peace, all the abundance, all the life. It is right here in this now moment. And I am a part of the flow of all those qualities. I am an expression of the infinite and all of Source and all the qualities of Source abide in me and my consciousness, and I tap into that awareness. I allow it to be integrated into every cell of my being, knowing that I am peace, I am wholeness, I am abundance, I am healing energy, a radiant life right here and right now. I realize that it is present and I can give expression to it, I can know it, I can feel it, and I can be it in my world, in my individual life, and in the life that I share with those around me. So I just allow myself to rest for a moment in the awareness of the fulfillment of every prayer in my heart, in the silence. God is, and I am. And through that awareness, I am one with all that I could ever want. And I allow myself to live inside that consciousness. I welcome the shift in my awareness, and in deep gratitude and deep joy, I say thank you and amen.
Well, this is a joyful day for me. I am celebrating my .5 anniversary being married to one of the two Linda Lou Rays in the congregation here today. It was just 6 months ago this day out on the pavilion that we got married, and I'm just so grateful. But my question for you is, what are you grateful for? Is it the best friends that now have entered into your life because of coming to this church? Is it the classes that you take in A Course in Miracles that lead you on a whole different spiritual path? Is it watching your kids go through a Sunday school here and grow up? Or is it being able to come this afternoon to a workshop that Reverend Cynthia and Melissa's doing and expressing the gratitude that you have for doing sacred service for this church? But there is another way other than the sacred service, and that is now is the opportunity to support our spiritual community and experience the power of giving and receiving with our offering. The ushers will please come forward. There are a number of ways for you to give, and they are showing on your screen. Whether you're giving through our app, mailing a check, text to give, in person or online, we are grateful for your generosity and know that it will return to you tenfold. If you give electronically or through recurring giving, we have cards in the pew that you can use to activate the power of your generosity. Pick one up as we speak our offering affirmation together. Divine love, through me, blesses and multiplies all that I am, all that I have, all that I circulate, and I am grateful.
Every time I feel the Spirit moving deep within my soul, I go looking for a quiet place. Listen and let go. There's a sacred space inside my heart, and I possess the key. I unlock the door, the silence sets me free.
I'm going to invite you to sing along now. There's only 4 words. Spirit set me free. Here we go.
Spirit set me free. Spirit set me free. Spirit set me free. Now with every single breath I take, the Spirit sweetly sings, and I'm lifted to a higher place of even finer things. It's a place of hope, a place of peace, a place I call my own. I'm standing in the light now.
Here we go. Here's our chant again. Spirit set me free.
Spirit set me free. Spirit set me free. Oh, Spirit set me free. Oh, Spirit set me free.
Oh, so wonderful to have you with us, Beth. I hope we will see you again soon. Thank you so much to our lovely band and our AV team that keep us engaged every week. And we just take a moment. And we acknowledge in these offerings the incredible power and presence and activity of God in the givers. We see the face of God in each one of them, and we are grateful for their generous hearts, for the ways in which they bless this ministry. And we trust that this ministry will thrive and prosper through the generous hearts of these givers, and that we will touch the world in profoundly transformative ways. And so it is. Amen.
Today at 2 p.m., Reverend Cynthia and the Sacred Service Coordinator, Melissa Larson, will host its Not About Coffee, a Sacred Service team building session. If you are currently volunteering at UCOH, have in the past, or are interested in joining a Sacred Service team, please come back after lunch and attend this important workshop. Your help is vital to shape the future of Sacred Service at UCOH. Could you use a little extra spending money for the holidays? Do you love to create beautiful gifts? Reserve your table now to sell those beautiful things in the annual Holiday Bazaar on Sunday, December 3rd. See Melissa Larson in the bookstore if you have any questions, or get details when you register online. Next Sunday, in our 8:30 a.m. service, to honor Hispanic Heritage Month and loved ones who have transitioned, you are invited to bring a photo of your loved one or pet to place on the ofrenda, which is a type of altar, and join in this celebration of life, facilitated by Sandra Vela, LUT, and Sally Ramirez. We will have fellowship after the service with Mexican sweetbread, and congregants are invited to also bring a favorite food of their loved ones to share with others. At 11:30, we welcome guest speaker Micah Shiloh LaGrave, Unity Ministerial Candidate. Join us in the sanctuary or online as Michael Shiloh moves us beyond belief with the final inspiring message of our series on Unity's 5 principles.
Thank you, sir. I don't think I've ever been as motivated to attend everything as I have by all of the announcements today. I'm serious. It's just amazing. At first, I thought it was just the shirt, Michael, but no, it was the energy that you put into that. Thank you very, very, very much. I'm just up here to remind you that in 3 weeks, on November the 12th, Sunday, immediately after this service, we will have our annual meeting. And there is probably no more important, in terms of business, Sunday for this church. And so I encourage you to make every effort to be there. If you can't be here, it will be online, live streamed. However, if you choose to vote in the election for board members, which will occur that day, you will need to get an absentee ballot 2 weeks in advance and get it in by the 10th, that Friday before. So I've already covered the announcements, not in the order that I had them, which will only confuse me. We have 5 wonderful candidates. I mean, truly wonderful candidates. The unfortunate thing is that we have 4 available seats on the board. It then becomes a wonderful opportunity for you to exercise your decision-making skills. You get the chance to meet those candidates, first of all, starting today in Friendship Hall after service. I don't think all of them are here today, but over the next 3 weeks, they will be available for you to meet them face-to-face. In addition, this Tuesday at 7 o'clock, online, Zoom, you'll have an opportunity to greet and meet and talk to and listen to all 5 candidates. You can find the link on the website. There is a tile in the banner at the top. When you go to the website, click on that. It'll take you to a page that will take you to the Zoom link. And you can click on that and then remember or write down the Zoom link. I've written it down already. What else is there on here? I said if you can't be at the annual meeting live and in person, but you do want to vote, you need to get an absentee ballot. And after the 31st of this month, October 31st, you will be able to either call the church, 512-335-4449, and request an absentee ballot, or get download one online. That's it. It's an important Sunday, and I say that not just because I'm on the board. I've learned in the last year plus how very important this board is to the church, because the church is so important to the members of the board. Thank you.
Good afternoon. I'm Steve Mayer. I love this space. Do you feel it? that energy, it's sacred. And it's safe and secure. And part of the secure is the awareness of the endowment fund. And I am here to represent the legacy team and calling for anybody that can hear their calling to help and volunteer and join us on the legacy team. It's very simple. We have Zoom call every other month, and we discuss, chat about finances. So please see me or Melissa to volunteer for the meeting. Thank you.
All right, so I just want to remind you that we have prayer chaplains that are able to, or able, what an odd word, willing to pray with you after the service to hold that space with you. And our prayer chaplains today are Heidi, right? No? And Jennifer. And Samay. So please take the opportunity to pray with them. It's such an important part of your spiritual practice. They will be available in the chapel after the service. And for those of you that are joining us online, you may want to take advantage of calling Silent Unity, and you can find that number online. Now we are going to we're going to say farewell to our online congregants. We are so grateful that you have joined us, and we hope you have a truly wonderful day. And take care.
The light of God surrounds us. The love of God enfolds us. The power of God protects us. The presence of God watches over us. Wherever we are, God is, and all is well.